from No Time for Social and Christine Mansour from CM Narrative. And we're here today to talk with you about how we connected and how we started working with a client, and that client is Tilcor Roofing. So if you don't know much about No Time for Social, we're a digital marketing agency. We're based out of Round Rock, Texas. Been in business for about 8 years now, supporting the roofing and construction industry, as well as many other industries. But a majority of our work is done within roofing and construction. And Christine, why don't you introduce yourself and what you do, and maybe you could take it from there and talk about how we met, and which we didn't meet in person yet.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, crazy. Okay, I'll get there. So hi, everyone. My name is Christine Mansour. I am the founder of CM Narrative, which is a video marketing agency. I help companies tell their stories across a variety of different mediums and realms. And one of my specialties is the construction and roofing business. And so that's how Bill and I met. We have a mutual client, Tilcor Roofing Systems. And we joined forces on a project early 2021. I think it was January or February we started working together. And we helped Tilcor tell their story and leverage their story by using Facebook ads. So I'm kind of the creative behind, helping Tilcor figure out what their story is. And then Bill is the mastermind of everything Facebook ads and really scaling that message and getting it out to the people and to the masses. So, and we haven't met in person yet, which is mind blowing. I feel like we've met 10,000 times from all the Zooms and Google Meets and streams and everything. So it's been a fun year.
That's about to happen, hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. The meeting of the minds. Meeting of the minds. Yes. Very excited for that.
So I, just to give you some history and background, I started talking with Tilcor. I'm going to say they've been with us for now almost 3.5, 4 years. And they came into our office in Round Rock several years back, did a presentation proposal for them, had lunch, really, really great meeting. They're based out of New Zealand, so everybody had to sign off on everything. Started working with them and really hit the ground running with creating B2B related marketing, as well as some consumer-based marketing that sort of targeted, if anybody was to hit the Tilcor Roofing USA Facebook page, they would see these really awesome, cool stone-coated steel roofs. So we started working with them, put together several marketing plans, built out several marketing assets, including some video assets, even before Christine, and hit the ground running. And we've had this one video, you know how sometimes they talk about like these viral videos, and I wouldn't necessarily call this a viral video because it's not virally being pushed out. Nobody's, not a lot of people have seen it unless they're in the roofing industry, but we've had this one video running as an ad on Facebook, and it's generated 6,000 leads. So out of that one video, which is an installation video, there have been tons and tons of leads coming in, which is amazing. It's always great to be able to deliver on with a client and be able to provide that level of service that they're looking for. So how did Christine and I connect? Well, Dave from Tilcor, VP of Sales, reached out and was like, hey, Christine has been doing a lot of really, really good work for us over the years. I want the two of you guys to connect and take what you've done already with this one video and turn it into something new, fresh, exciting. Keep that video running. It's doing well. What else can we do? How can we capitalize on this? So Christine and I met up several times, had several different meetings about what we can do, and decided we're going to create branded videos for each of the reps. And we did it with 4 of them in various parts of the country. We did Florida, we did the Northeast, I believe we did Illinois, and Texas. So that production ended up turning into a video process that we also use for Facebook advertising. And now each one of those individual reps is getting specific leads in based off of that video. So those videos speak to the consumers in that area, and the leads coming in should most of the time only be coming from not consumers, but from roofers in that area. So that's the B2B side of being able to use Facebook. And I've seen a lot of people say B2B doesn't work on Facebook. Well, I'm here to tell you it does, and we've done really well with it. So I'm going to turn it back over to Christine, because I think she has a lot of good things to talk about, how she met with these reps, how the videos were recorded, how that was put together and crafted to deliver to me. So Christine, can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, Bill. So the process was actually really, really cool and pretty efficient. And so we did the same process with every single rep. We had a call with them. We asked them a ton of questions about their market, who they were working with, who they were trying to work more with, and just basically understanding the demographics of their target market. And so with that market research, we were able to create a message that we just instilled within the video that we created for each rep. And so the way we created the video was that I remotely directed each rep in each different area and showed them how to present themselves on camera, what to say. You know, we went through the script. We wanted to make sure that the script was on point and speaking directly to who they were trying to sell to. And so I helped them with everything, you know, with lighting, positioning, how to present themselves, everything to create a remotely directed Facebook video ad. And then on my end, I pieced it all together using some stock footage, using some footage that Tilcor that I've already shot, that Tilcor had in their media library, and then just put some graphics together, and boom, we had a 30 to 45-second Facebook ad that was very strategically marketed and targeted to people using Bill's techniques with the Facebook ad strategy. And so the whole process was really just doing the market research, speaking to the reps, figuring out who they wanted to talk directly to, you know, helping the reps and helping the managers film themselves with their own cameras, with their own laptops. I was behind the scenes, you know, piecing it all together, working with Bill, making sure that the target demographics that we were speaking to in the video matched directly with the target demographics that he was able to use the Facebook ad manager with. And we put it all together, and we did that for the 4 different sales managers, and the results are great. You know, I mean, I've talked to multiple of the reps, and they're just, you know, it's a great way to speak on a personal level to these people through these ads. And, you know, when people reach out using the sales form or the lead form that we provide after they watch these videos to reach out, it's like they've already met their sales manager, their local sales manager. So it's like a very cool, targeted, personalized touch to scale yourself and scale the messaging and really talk directly to people who you'd either have to cold call or get referrals. It saves a lot of time, and it's the perfect tool to scale.
Yeah. It's like running your own television commercial, and
Exactly.
it's amazing that the technology is there now, where you can utilize Facebook, you can utilize LinkedIn, you can utilize these platforms, and these things could be turned on and off at the flip of a switch. It really is pretty powerful, and I know that they've gotten deals closed directly off of these ads. We've actually gotten feedback. I popped in the ads manager just to see, and I was off on those numbers. On the main roofing lead ad that we've been running, we're now at 7,453 leads, $4.41 per lead, which is great. As we move into the more segmented, the lead cost is going to go up, and there's obviously reasons for that, right? When your audience narrows, the ability for a platform like Facebook or LinkedIn to hit that audience, you're competing with other ads. There's a lot of different tech things that happen when it comes to that, but we're still at a pretty good rate, anywhere from $38 to $60 a lead, which in the world of lead generation, if you're in the business world, that's actually not a bad deal. I mean, No Time for Social is building out our 2020 plan right now, and our lead costs we're expecting to be at $150 a lead in 2022. So if you can get leads in at those rates, you're in great shape. And they've generated anywhere from 50 to 80 leads since we've been running those ads in April. So it's been a really, really good process to hit the various states for these reps and where they're located. And, you know, for anybody that's running a business right now, and I'll just speak to roofing at this point because we're obviously talking about Tilcor. If you're running a company and you're doing B2B work in the industry, these are things that you should be thinking about. If you have an area that you want to target, you can run ads specifically to that area. Hey, roofers in New York. Hey, roofers in Texas. There are ways you can record these videos and push them out to your specific demographic. Use the right audiences on Facebook, craft the right messaging, put all the bells and whistles in place that are really sort of tough right now, but you can do it. The Facebook pixel, the retargeting pixel, retargeting off of video ad views. So that's another really cool thing, right? If somebody watches a video all the way to 100%, they can get another ad presented to them. So all of these techniques, I think, add up to success over time. The big thing is you've got to be patient, right? So, you know, Christine, I would say for most clients, the ramp up period, you're probably talking about anywhere from 3 to 6 months to get that entire process built out, the ads running, the ad spend being spent, and you starting to connect with potential new clients in order to get them in the door.
Definitely. Yeah. And then once you do it once, it's kind of a plug and play, right? So if you were happy with the first ad, we haven't done this with Tilcor yet. I mean, we did kind of build out their funnel with the initial like 30 to 45-second like clip of, hey, I'm blah, blah, blah from your region. We did that first wave for the top of the funnel, right? And so if people were engaged and they watched it for X amount of time, then they were shown the second funnel. And that's when we were able to go a little bit deeper on, you know, more technical and more in-depth explanation of the product and of the process. And so it's just exciting to be able to have a system, have a very clear-cut system, and then optimize with that. And that's what's so exciting about combining the creative aspect of videography and really dialing in and tweaking the analytical side with the Facebook ads and all of that stuff. And so, I mean, you can get it down to a science, and it just works. It keeps working, and you pivot and you navigate through, but it's a really fun and exciting process that if you're not using digital marketing, if you're not using ads and videos, you're falling behind because it is such a great, powerful tool at your disposal. So
you know, and it's funny, the thing with the situation we're in now with COVID, right? And obviously we've seen, I haven't been to a trade show in it's been a little bit. In fact, I think the last trade show I was able to attend would have been the IRE in January of 2019, which was up in Dallas. In fact, my good friend Greg Hoffman from Roofing Contractor Marketing, good friend of mine out of Colorado, he and I spent most of the show together. And I even remember COVID starting to even be discussed at that point. It was like, oh, what's going on here? And for the companies that pivoted and said, you know what, we're going to move a lot of our budget because of these issues with shows over to digital, those are the ones that are probably making some waves right now because a lot more people are on. You know, we talk about Facebook and their growth. There's billions of people on, and there's, you know, when you go in to go set up an ad on Facebook, as soon as you go to set up an audience on Facebook, immediately it tells you there's 232 million people to target. So we know that there's still a majority of people on Facebook or Instagram on these platforms. There is an increase in the number of ads being pushed out because I'm getting them in my feed. But if you're a technician and you're able to technically move through the funnel, the audiences, the ad delivery, the ad creative, which is important. I can't tell you the number of times I scroll through and I'm like, oh my God, what is this ad? If you can get all that stuff dialed in, you're set. So I think any company now, with the situation we're in with COVID, with all of the different things going on with, you know, with events, and yes, people are going back. if you could peel off a percentage of budget or take a chance and say, you know what, this $25,000 we were going to spend or $30,000 we were going to spend to go to this particular conference. It's great meeting people, and I don't discount that process, but maybe take a chance and say, hey, I'm going to forego a booth this year. I'm still going to go to the event. It gives you a chance to network, but I'm going to move that booth money over to this massive digital marketing campaign, this massive lead generation campaign. I think it'll pay off, and it has for Tilcor. And Tilcor has been participating, but I know that they did slow down their participation in a lot of the events. So good thing they've got this process going. And I think for any company that is B2B in the roofing industry or really anywhere should be considering this. So it's definitely something to consider in the long term.
Definitely. And Bill, you're right. I mean, it's obviously you can't discount the nature of being in person with people, but it's in this day and age, I feel like I always sound like a broken record, but if you're not using video and you're not scaling yourself with the tools available, then you're falling behind. And so it's great to have both. If you're a company that can manage to have a digital marketing campaign and still have the budget to go to these events in person, I mean, that's the awareness. It's all about awareness and using the tools at your disposal. So
using video, in my opinion, is the easiest and best way for you to train, and I say train people to understand your product, understand what you're selling, and you get that commercial, right? So the ability to produce, build, and deliver a commercial nowadays, it's decreased like 98%. Like, 20 years ago, you'd have to get a whole production company. Everything would be professional. You'd need the set. You would need green screens. You would need all this stuff. Nowadays, you just produce the commercial and you do it using all the tools and techniques in your phone. You crank that thing out, boom, send it out using some Facebook ad dollars, some LinkedIn ad dollars, and now you've got your commercial running, and that's just the start of what that process can bring for you. So I highly recommend it, and I think that any business nowadays, like you said, that's not using video and using it effectively is potentially losing out, because your customers are out there. They're craving this. And when you provide video about your company, what you do, how you do it, what it's all about, you're already a leg up over your competition. So
absolutely. And to just kind of build off of that, like you said, like you can use your phone. The barrier to entry for video production and video creation is the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah.
So it's really it's all about the story and the messaging, and that will require some digging deep on on the marketing perspective angle, where you have to really know your customer and sort of know the message that you'd like to share. Yeah. But the whole video, I mean, you can use the phone in your pocket. Most phones these days have 4K capabilities, which is mind blowing. And that, speaking directly about the ads that we created for Tilcor, all of the reps use their phones. Yeah. And so that was the way we captured the video. And so it's really, if you kind of know just simple ins and outs of video production and messaging and Facebook advertising, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, it's good. Very exciting times. So if you haven't heard yet, and we distribute some emails out, Christine and I have a lot going on right now. So we've been doing a digital marketing masterclass, which we just had one the other day. We'll probably end up building one on Eventbrite and pushing that out soon for mid-January sometime. We're probably going to do that introductory course once a month. At least that's the plan right now. We're also building out a full-on course where she does a good amount of video production course material. We do a good amount of Facebook material. So definitely keep in touch with us. DM us on any of the platforms that you're seeing this on today. Christine, you can be reached. What's your email?
Yeah, my email is Christine, CHRISTINE, @cmnarrative.com.
Excellent. And my email is bill@notimeforsocial.com. And again, IM us if you are seeing us on any of the channels. And we look forward to continuing to produce some of these videos, produce some of these dialogues, and really just begin to get everybody ingrained with using video and digital marketing for their business moving forward, especially in 2021 and beyond. So with that, I think, Christine, 20 minutes, probably probably everybody's attention span at this point in life. So thanks for hopping on today. And again, we'll be producing these more in the near future. So excited to continue to work with you in 2022.
Definitely. Thanks so much, Bill. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And Barbara just said, great live video. And thanks, Barbara.
That is my mom in Boca.
Yes.
Christine, you could probably go over there and hang out with her.
Absolutely. When's dinner, Barbara?
Right.
Oh my gosh.
All
Love
right.
it.
We'll talk to you soon.